Chapter 54. Sheng's first show of might. At Song Shengping's command, a group of demonized people went straight for the big formation. The big formation is ruined. It's just missed. It's just missed. Quick, quick, quick up the mountain. A demonized person shouted in surprise. My side too. It's just missed, haha. There's only Guhai alone, get him. He can't get away. The crowd of demonized people quickly rushed up the mountain. As they rushed up the mountain, one by one, they quickly transformed, surrounded by scarlet hostile aura. Their hair transformed into a full head of snakes. Song Shengping, you go in, quick. If you go, you can crush Guhai with your probing hand. Li King urged. Song Shengping, however, shook his head. This Guhai can be deceitful. Wait a little longer. You don't believe me, Li King said in a depressed manner. Song Shengping didn't pay any attention and waited patiently. 800 demonized men surged up the mountain, and soon, the first demonized man arrived on the mountain. Amidst the fog, there was still a glimpse of the 3,000 stone statues. Stone statues. What Li King said is true. The demonized man's eyes lit up and said, Bear. Steeply, a black blade came straight at him. Not good. The demonized man's face changed, and he quickly dodged away. However, it was still cut open by the black blade with a bloody gash. Who are you? Around the black knife, a steep amount of black gas surged into that wound, and within the black gas, a small skeleton generally coalesced. Ka. The little skeletons quickly tore into that demonized man's flesh and blood. Guhai ah. Just after discovering Guhai, that demonized man screamed miserably as countless skeletons drilled into his body, and in the blink of an eye, he was a bloody mess with all his skin and flesh gone. Ka. As Guhai stepped away, the black gas had already passed over him, and after it passed, it left behind a pile of morose withered bones. The little skeleton that had devoured the demonized man's flesh and blood had instantly turned into black chi and drilled into the absolute life blade. And in the twinkling of an eye, a wave of power surged into Guhai's body. Whew, so comfortable. Guhai let out a long breath, as if the pores of his entire body had opened up in an instant. The scream of the demonized man just now, but it was transmitted in all directions in an instant. Outside the large formation, Song Shengping's face changed, and he grabbed his long sword and stood on guard. Within the fog, the countless demonized people also gave a lurch. Their heads full of snake heads were annoyed. Quick, I see it, Guhai. He's the one who killed senior brother. A shriek came out steeply. At this moment, Guhai was slashing at him. Dang! The swords collided, and the absolute life blade instantly cut through the man's long sword, steeply slicing through a snake's head on its head. Whew! Rolls of black gas surged wildly. Ah! Amidst the man's successive miserable screams, he was abruptly turned into a pile of withered bones. The miserable screams were incomparably oozing, causing others in the large formation to panic in their hearts. The fog filled the air, and the speed of the crowd of demonized people slowed down a lot. The demonized people slowly approached the center in groups. The crowd's vision was not clear. Only Guhai, at the moment, could see exactly what was going on. Bared Jin. With a slash, Guhai killed a small group of 5. It's Guhai, kill him. Ah, dang. In the middle of the small group of 5, Guhai killed in all directions. It was good that they were all in the innate realm. Guhai was in the 7th level of the innate realm. He cultivated external skills. His explosive power was comparable to that of the Jindan realm, and the Sheng blade in his hand was a divine weapon. With one touch, he chopped the other party's sword body into pieces. And as long as he slashed open a wound, the demonized man was instantly nibbled on by 10,000 skulls and crossbones. What kind of sword is this? No. How long have you only been in the innate realm? How do you have so much power? Guhai, come out. I'm going to eat your heart and liver. I'm going to eat you. Come out for me." In the clouds, there was a succession of miserable screams and shouts of curses, a group of demonized people. But they didn't dare to go any further in general. They just leaned against each other, on guard in all directions. Gu Hai grasped the absolute life blade. His body trembled violently. A wave of power surged into his body. It was an indescribable exuberance. In the exuberance, it was as if there was a feeling of killing everyone. Ka 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 ka. A large amount of black chi surrounded Gu Hai as if wrapping it up, and as the number of demon transformation people killed increased, so did the black chi. Wiping his left shoulder, the left shoulder was a wound that had been cut out by a demonized man's sharp sword on the way to killing demons just now, but this wound, Gu Hai didn't care about it. Instead, he surrounded the stone statue and tried to protect it. "There's more over there." Gu Hai's eyes glared as he pounced on yet another group of 10. "Gu Hai is here. Quick, over here. Come here together." Steeply a demonized man roared, his head full of snake heads raging. Dang, dang, dang. The absolute life blade cut through everything, ushering in the swords, quickly chopping towards the crowd. Bear Jin, a blade aura raged among the crowd of demonized people desperately resisting. After all, Gu Hai's power was too strong. Boom. Steeply one person was wrapped in black chi, and in the blink of an eye, he was gnawed away by countless skeletons, turning into a pile of bones. You devil, devil. The demonized person next to him shrieked, "Devil, you're the devils. I'm killing devils and doing justice for heaven." Gu Hai let out a loud shout and continued to charge. Kill him. Clatter. Steeply. A sword chopped away, and a large swath of swords disconnected. Without their weapons, they became even more dangerous in front of Gu Hai. In a series of screams, only one of the group of demonized people ran out. Gu Hai stepped after them. "Don't chase me. Don't chase me." The demonized man shrieked, "Bear Yin." With a slash across its head, Gu Hai turned his head and ran away, charging towards the other demonized people. For a while, in the large formation, the battle became more and more intense. Outside, Song Shengping's eyelids fluttered furiously. How is it possible? There's only Gu Hai. Then how did they call it that? This group of losers. They can't even handle one ancient sea. Song Shengping said with an ugly face. Song Shengping, you go quickly, Li King said anxiously. Song Shengping's eyelids fluttered furiously for a while, still hesitating for a while. And internally, Gu Hai finally met a Jindan realm cultivator. Boom. Shoo. Gu Hai steeply charged up again, chop. The absolute life blade chopped down once again. HMPH, Song Armor Sword Technique, break. That Jindan realm demonized man let out a roar, boom. There was a steep collision, and the Jindan realm demonized man's long sword broke apart with a loud bang. What kind of sword do you have? The Jindan realm demonized man out a cry of shock. Bear Jin. The demonized man's sword chi cut a gash in Gu Hai's leg, and the absolute life blade left a bloody gash on his arm. Covering his leg, Gu Hai turned around and walked away, his movement slightly starting to be inconvenient. Don't run. That Jindan realm demonized man was about to chase after him with a cold shout. Who are you? Rolling black chi wrapped him. No. The Jindan realm demonized man out a miserable cry. Cross rub. In the twinkling of an eye, only a pile of withered bones fell to the ground. In this moment of effort, there were already 200 withered bones on the mountain. The people who rushed up at a later stage all changed their faces furiously. No. How could this happen? A group of demonized people shrieked in shock. Gu Hai grabbed the absolute life blade and kept running in all directions. On the other hand, some of the demonized people in the 4 directions retreated in fear, leaving only a small portion still charging upwards. A large number of demonized people escaped, causing Song Shengping's face at the bottom of the mountain to change. Assholes, with so many people, they couldn't kill Gu Hai, Song Shengping angrily rebuked. Patriarch, senior brother, senior uncle, they're all dead. Did you hear the miserable screams? Just one miserable scream and they're gone, just gone. The demonized man screamed in horror. Song Shengping, go quickly. The longer we delay, the worse it will be for us. Hurry up. The big formation is already ruined. There is still Gu Hai left. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? Li King shouted anxiously. Song Shengping's face was complicated for a while. Korching. There was a loud bang, and the cloud mist formation shook abruptly. Oh no. All the spirit stones are depleted. Gu Hai's face was in a state of dismay as he pierced through a demonized man with a blade. Wow. As the spirit stones were depleted, the grand formation disappeared with a bang and the clouds slowly dispersed. The demonized people, who were fleeing down the mountain and running towards the mountain all, stopped in their figures and looked towards the mountain together, finally getting a good look at Gu Hai. Gu Hai was grasping a long, thin sword in his hand. His hair was disheveled, his clothes were broken, and there were 5 wounds on his body that were bleeding. Black gas surrounded Gu Hai. Gu Hai looked like a demon. Gu Hai protected the side of the 3,000 stone statues. Around the 3,000 stone statues, there was a set of white bones on the ground. On top of the white bones, the clothes were all gone. Song Shengping, Li King, and the crowd of demonized people looked on with wide eyes. Where were the corpses? Where were the corpses of the senior brothers, junior brothers, and uncles who had screamed so miserably earlier? No, there were no corpses, only those 200 skeletons. Looking at the skeletons, everyone was jolted. What had happened? Demonized people are not even afraid of cannibalism. However, looking at the people who were alive just now, at this moment there is no flesh and blood, only withered skeletons. A chill went straight to the whole body from the soles of the feet. Those demonized people who were about to rush up the mountain all stopped with their scalps numb. Song Shengping also had a facial twitch. Looking at the ancient sea surrounded by black qi, Song Shengping was all chilled in general. Quickly, go, Li King shouted. Good. Song Shengping stepped into the sky and flew up. Although he was filled with chills, but Song Shengping still knew that Gu Hai was not his opponent. First, he would destroy Gu Hai, Buzz. However, at this moment, a ripple appeared in the void, not far from Gu Hai. Gu Hai's face changed, and he showed great joy. What? Could it be that Master Lionian is coming back? Song Shengping's face changed. Steeply, Song Shengping rushed towards the place where the void created ripples, as if as soon as Master Liu Nian came out, he would behead him with a sword. Not good. Gu Hai's face changed. This was to ambush Master Liu Nian. Ji Sheng, chop. Gu Hai steeply let out a loud shout and rushed up to the sky, slashing at **** Sheng. This slash condensed all of Gu Hai's strength as rolling black qi surged towards Song Shengping. Song Shengping's face changed as he chopped sideways with his sword. Boom. The sword dangled and the blade qi collided with such a powerful force that it rumbled and lifted Gu Hai out of the air. Boom. Lifted out, Gu Hai crashed into a hut with a loud bang and collapsed amongst the ruins. Pfft. A mouthful of blood spurted out from Gu Hai. And at this moment, where the ripples in the void were, it was as if a rift had been torn open, and a hint of white robes emerged from the gap. It was going to come out. Die for me. Song Shengping let out a loud shout and chopped away with his sword. Boom. The powerful sword dipper went straight for the robe, as if it was going to decapitate the straddling out flowing year's master with a single stroke of the sword. Seeing that it was about to pierce into it, steeply, a right hand suddenly emerged from that void crack. The right hand condensed a palm dipper. Dang. The sword dang stopped in mid-air alive, and was grasped in the palm of the palm dang. What? Song Shengping's face changed.